Hi everyone. In this session, we will discuss about the example. Okay. So demonstrate a perceptron for performing AND function. You know how an AND function performs. So here we have the inputs x1 and x2. Okay. And here target t. The small t is nothing but it is target t. So when the target value will be 1, if both the inputs are 1, then only the output will be 1. In all the other cases, the output will be -1. Actually, we have done the AND operation using 0 and 1. Here we are representing, instead of 0, we are representing it with -1. 1 minus 1. So when both the inputs are 1, then only the output will be 1. In all the other three cases, the output will be -1. Okay, where B is nothing but this is bias. So this is the input. Okay, this is the given function. So if x1, x2, b, if these values are given, this is the target. So that is what we are supposed to get. Okay, now in the previous class we have seen the algorithm. So what is the first step of the algorithm? We have to initialize the weights and bias initially to 0. So that's why we have initialized the weights W1 as 0, W2 as 0 and the bias B as 0. Okay, W1 as 0, W2 as 0, B as 0. So see here, first we have to consider case 1. Let us suppose first case is nothing but first set of inputs x1, x2. If x1 is 1, x2 is 1, then the target should be 1 and bias is 1. So here what we have done is first initialized, we have initially taken the weights W1, W2 and bias we have initialized to 0. W1 is 0, W2 is 0 and x1, x2 are nothing but the inputs which we have taken x1, x2. So x1 is 1, x2 is 1. So we have to set the learning rate. So here alpha is the learning rate. We have to set the learning rate alpha equal to 1. So what is this theta? Theta is nothing but we have assumed a threshold value. That theta is nothing but it's a threshold value. If the cumulative y is greater than theta, then its value should be 1. If it lies between minus theta to plus theta, it should be 0. If it is less than minus theta, then its value should be -1. So that's what this theta is nothing but theta is the threshold value. Okay. So theta is the threshold value where t is the target. So we have discussed if both the inputs are 1, 1, then the target is 1. So that is t equal to 1. Then what is the second? We have to start our computation till the condition fails. Okay. The third step in the algorithm is for each training pair 1, 1, because here the inputs which we have taken, no, x1, x2, those values are 1, 1. Okay, we have to perform the steps 4 to 6. Okay, so we have to set the activations of the inputs xi as 1, 1. Okay, so this is all nothing we have done here. Just we have taken x1, x2 values and we have kept w1, w2 and bias values are set to 0, whereas the learning rate alpha value is set to 1, theta value is 0, target t is 1, t is 1. Okay, that's what we have done here. Next, step 5. Here we have to compute the output unit response, or we can also call it as net input. Net input, yin is nothing but net input. The formula is b plus sigma I equal to 1 to n xi wi, where I equal to 1, where b is nothing but b is bias. So initially we have taken, see, b as 0. So that's what we have written. xi wi means here we have x1 w1, x2 w2. So x1 into w1 plus x2 w2. So see, so bias b is 0, x1 is 1, w1 is 0. So 1 into 0 plus x2 is 1, y2 is 0. So 1 into 0. So thereby we will get 0 plus 0 plus 0. So thereby we will get 0. So we got net input as 0. So now what we have to do is we have to perform activation function. We have to apply activation function on the above net input. So if we perform the activation function, see y equal to f of activation function, if we apply on net input, if the value will be 1 0 minus 1. When it will be 1? If the net input is greater than 0. Net input is greater than 0? No, the net input is 0. So the y value will be 0 if the net input lies between minus 0 and plus 0. It is minus 1 if the net input value is less than minus 0. So here, based up after applying the activation function on the net input, the output y is 0. Why? Because here where the net input is 0, so the second case, the second condition is it falls under second condition. Why? Because the net input lies between 0 and minus 0. So therefore the output value will be 0. So the output y equal to 0. Next step is, this is step 6. Actually it was so here target t equal to 1 means expected output is 1. T is nothing but T is the target output or expected output or desired output. The desired output T equal to 1, and the observed output means the actual output y equal to 0. See, actually we got 0. The calculated output is 0. So since the expected output and observed output are not equal, now what we have to do is we have to update the weights and bias. So the new weights and bias are the formula. Actually we have seen in the algorithm. So the formula is, so new weight equal to old weight plus alpha into t into xi, where alpha is nothing but the learning rate, where t is the target output, where xi is the inputs. Similarly, we have to calculate bias, new bias value. New bias value is nothing but old bias value plus alpha t, where alpha is the learning rate, t is the target output. Now if you calculate the new weight W1 equal to W old weight, we have initialized the weights to 0. So 0 plus alpha is set to 1 into target is 1 into 1. So W1 is nothing but first weight. So we have to write we have taken two inputs x1 x2. That x1 value we have to write here. Okay. So 1 into 1 into 1. Thereby we got 1 as the new weight. Similarly for W2 is the new weight 2. So old weight is 0 plus alpha is 1, t target is 1, x2 is also 1. So 1 into 1 into 1 we got 1. So this is how we have calculated the values of new weights. Next, bias value. Bias value, the formula is bias b of new equal to b of old plus alpha into t. So initially the old bias is 0 plus alpha is 1 and target output is 1. So 1 into 1. So thereby we got. So now the updated weights, the new weights and bias are 1 1 1. See, W1 is 1, W2 is 1 and bias is 1. That's why we have written 1 1 1. So now the updated values are x1 and x2 are same. Okay, x1 is 1, x2 is 1. Alpha is also 1. Only the updated weights are W1. Previously it was 0, now it became 1. W2, previously it is 0, now it is 1. Bias B, previously it is 0, now it is 1. These are the new weights. Now we have to calculate y net input. Y in equal to b plus sigma I equal to 1 to n xi wi. So b is 1 plus. So b is 1 plus. So x1 w1, x1 is 1, w1 is 1 plus x2 is 1, w2 is 1. So thereby we got the net input as 3. Now if we apply activation function on this, it comes under first condition. It falls under first condition. Y net input is greater than 0. So now y becomes 1. So now y is 1. Okay. So here what happens? The target is also 1. So now it is satisfied. The expected output is 1. T is 1. Right? So the observed or the calculated output y is also 1. So now the expected output and observed output is one and the same. So thereby now we will stop the first case. See, the first case, that is x1 is 1, x2 is 1. Okay, target t equal to 1. Okay, now it's okay. Now we should move to second case. Now x1 equal to minus 1, x2 equal to 1, target is minus 1. Okay, so now we have to move to the second case. See, in the second case, initially the values x1 equal to minus 1, x2 equal to 1, whereas w1 means, so we are calculating the second phase now, the weights of so previous case. So when we have finished here, whatever the weights and bias we have, the same we have to use here. So there w1 equal to 1, w2 equal to 1, bias is also 1. So here alpha equal to 1, the learning rate. T is target output is minus 1. Okay, because if two inputs are, one input is minus 1 and the other input is 1, if you perform AND operation on these two, we will get minus 1 only. Okay, so here also the same, we have started the computation. Here we have to calculate the net input, yin equal to b plus sigma I equal to 1 to n xi wi. So where b, bias b equal to 1 plus x1 is minus 1 into w1 is 1 plus x2 is 1, y2 is 1. So thereby we will get 1 minus 1 plus 1. So thereby we will get 1. The net input is y. The net input is 1. Yin equal to 1. So if you apply activation function on this, means so net input is greater than 0. So thereby the output will be 1. See, the output is 1. Whereas the target output is minus 1. The expected output is minus 1, but the observed output is 1. So again here we have deviation. So again what we have to do is, we have to update the weights. See, in step 6, if you see the step 6, the target is minus 1, whereas the observed is y equal to 1. Since the expected output and observed output is not equal, again we have to calculate the new weights. We have to update the weights and bias. So we know the formula. In order to update the weights, new weight equal to old weight plus alpha into t into xi. Similarly, if you want to update bias, new bias equal to old bias plus alpha into t. So now, if you want to calculate new weight w1, old weight is 1 plus alpha is 1, target t is minus 1. So 1 into minus 1 into x1 is minus 1. So minus 1 into minus 1 is plus 1. If you multiply, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So new weight w1 is 2. Similarly, new weight w2 equal to old weight is 1 plus alpha is 1, target t is minus 1, x2 is 1 plus 1. So if you multiply this, so we will get minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So the updated weights are w1 is 2, w2 is 0. So whereas a bias value, if you update the bias value, new bias value equal to old bias value is 1 plus alpha t. Alpha is 1 into t is minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So the updated weights and bias are 2, 0, 0, where 2 is weight w1, next 0 is weight w2, whereas bias b is 0. So the updated values are x1 equal to minus 1, there is no change. x2 is also 1, no change. Alpha is 1, the learning rate. Whereas w1 is 2. See, here we have calculated w1 is 2, w2 is 0. Bias is 0. So w1 equal to 2, w2 equal to 0, bias b equal to 0. Now we have to calculate the net input. The net input is b plus sigma I equal to 1 to n xi wi. B is 0. See here, b is 0. 0 plus, so x1 is minus 1 into w1 is 2, minus 1 into 2 plus x2 is 1, whereas w2 is 0, 1 into 0. So thereby we will get 0 minus 2 plus 0. So thereby we will get the net input as minus 2. If you apply activation function on that, so minus 2 means it comes under the third condition. So the net input is less than or equal to minus 0. So now the value will be minus 1. See here, the expected output means the target output t is minus 1, whereas the observed output y is minus 1. So here also the second case is satisfied, because the expected output and the observed output is one and the same. Now similarly what we have to do is, we have to perform the same calculation using the third case. Here the inputs are x1 equal to 1, x2 equal to minus 1. Weights W1 is in the previous case, no, the same weights we have to use. W1 equal to 2, W2 equal to 0, bias equal to 0, alpha equal to 1, target equal to minus 1. We have to calculate the same, we have to follow the same procedure and calculate. So the same, fourth case also the same. Okay, so the third case, fourth case you do by yourself. Okay, by using the inputs. So here the inputs are x1 equal to minus 1, x2 equal to minus 1, w equal to 1, w2 equal to 1, b equal to minus 1, alpha equal to 1, target t equal to minus 1. So if you calculate, no, finally you will get a table which looks like this. So the inputs x1, x2 are the inputs 1, 1, minus 1, 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1. So by default, no, the bias will be 1. We will assume that the bias will be 1 by default. So the net is nothing but, so before updating the weights or before updating the bias, the net input values will be 0, 1, 2, minus 3. These are the net input values. And the net output values, before adjusting the weights or biases, these are the values what we will get. These are the target output. These are the target outputs. Okay. So when the expected output and observed output is not the same, we have adjusted the weights and bias. Those were nothing but weight changes. Delta W1, delta W2, delta B. These are the changes. See, initially when we started the algorithm, initially the first step in the algorithm is we have assumed the weights W1, W2 and bias as 0. So initially we have taken 0, but so at the end, when at the end of first case, when the expected output and observed output is one and the same, at the time the weights W1 is 1, W2 is 1, B is 1. That's why the change in weights are, they have changed it from 0 to 1. That's why the change in weights are 1, 1, 1. See, 1, 1, 1. So next in the second case, the weights are 2, 0, 0. The weights are 2, 0, 0. These are the weights where we got the expected output and observed output as the same. Okay, 2, 0, 0 means what is the change in weight? So change in weights are, so previously it was 1. From 1 it became 2, means the change in weight is 1 plus 1. So previously it was 1, now it was 0, means the change in weight is minus 1. It was reduced by minus 1. Whereas bias B also, previously it was 1, now it was 0, means the change in weight is minus 1. Like that we have written this table. Okay, this is the final table what we have to write. Okay, so this is about this is about calculating or developing a perceptron for AND function. Okay. Similarly, you demonstrate a perceptron for performing OR function. You know how a OR function works. When both the inputs are minus 1, at the time only the target output will be minus 1. In all the other cases, the target output will be 1. Okay. Now you do this by following the previous example. Okay, if you have understood the previous example, that is AND function, you can easily do this OR function. Okay, so with this we will wind up the session. Thank you.